If you will have common sense, pray for this old jagged man to stay.
If Ashwa is not contest 23, I will leave this country. No future for anybody because he must come and contest for the generation yet unborn.
The government of Nigeria, that TINUBU is in charge right now. Be very careful because the anger of God is too much. The usurpation of powers by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the Senate, shameless bid.
Jesus!
Jesus. Jesus.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Plan B TV News Gist and Blog. There are some people who don't have rights to complain about the insecurity in Nigeria, about bad governance, about the economical dichotomy and the situation of Nigeria under this APC government. When I say they don't have rights to complain, I mean every word that I said. In this particular video, I'm going to be making a compilation from Power Morgan and some politicians who really don't have sense. Some pastors that are confused and the ones that are not confused. Now, I'm going to do a quick run in this particular video to watch how some people stood in solidarity for TINUBU. They are going to be before and after in some of the clips. I want you guys to watch this particular video of this Northerner, what he said. We'll be right back.
Going to contest for president, but we are begging him, we are crying, we are pleading that he must come and contest to lead this country, because we see what he has done. He was in governor of Lagos State, and all the people he has made, those he mentored, his mentees, they are all doing well in their various fields. All his mentees in the political circle are doing very well. When you look at Lagos State remained the pace setter for all the states in the whole Africa, not only in Nigeria. Because of that, we are begging Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to please, for God's sake, to come and contest for the president of this country. He has not told us, but I believe he should have interest. If he doesn't have interest now, we are pleading on behalf of all Nigerian youth. He should come and contest because we believe he has what it takes to be the leader, number one, of this country, and he has to take us to the promised land. If Asiwaju is not contest 23, I will leave this country. No future for anybody because he must come and contest for the generation yet unborn.
It is not just him. I also want you guys to watch this particular video of this man from a white garment church and what he said about TINUBU.
I am not a bastard. I cannot be a Yoruba boy and go and vote for Igbo. I'm not afraid.
These are the people that were campaigning for TINUBU. They just want TINUBU to become president in that 2023 by any means necessary. Some of them don't really care either you do well, you don't do well. They just want a Yoruba man in that power for any reason that is best known to them. How many of you also remember this pastor? He said God is the one that chose TINUBU and ordained TINUBU. God chose him and ordained him. I want you guys to watch it.
It is not my own will. I didn't vote. A day before the vote on Friday, I held a service here. Going down there to vote, I had God. Security were with me. He said, son, it's irrelevant to vote. I choose him. We didn't choose him. We didn't choose him. If it's hate, I hate him. But God chose him. If God did not choose him, he will not allow him to mount the throne. He will kill him. Every Christian hated it. But what you hate might be your savior tomorrow. Believe me, sir, you will thank God for being a Nigerian. Business that has never been moving will move. You will see people from the whites coming begging to dwell in it. That is God's choice. Ritabbi said here openly. He said, if they give it, this man is God's will. But the people's will is Obi. But your will is like a man putting his trust on a woman. If you will have common sense, pray for this old jagged man to stay.
But do you know right now, this same man is now complaining about the economical dichotomy and the insecurity in Nigeria. Now, thank God that there are some men of God and some good people of Nigeria who foresee the plans of the APC. People like Shogure. What Shogure said that TINUBU is here to finish what Buhari could not finish. Buhari by Nigerians, TINUBU is here to bury them. And I want you guys to watch the video. We'll be right back.
The TINUBU regime came to bury Nigeria after Buhari killed it. And people are still playing along with them. I don't know what is wrong with Nigerians. We are not playing. That's why we are not engaging in all this side hanky-panky about protests. When we are ready and when Nigerians are ready, we are interested in a revolution. We have made that very clear. Because that's what can end this nonsense in our body politic. You have all these military generals who don't go to war. And it's only in Nigeria that somebody who has never fought a war before will become a general in the army. Based on the number of traditional rulers he knows or the GO of his church, that's how they become generals in Nigeria, not because they go to war. If you see an Israeli general, it's because he has fought a war before. If you see an American general, he has been to Afghanistan, he has fought in Iraq, even though those wars might be wrong. But they have gone to war. But in Nigeria, you call these businessmen generals, they are all building estates in Abuja. They don't go to the war front. They don't know what's going on there. They are the ones who are happy that the insecurities are coming. You ask army to be doing traffic work. It's the Nigerian government that refused to release Nnamdi Kanu, something that would have solved a big problem. And then instead of releasing him, you go and put army in the east. Every kilometer in the east, there are army checkpoints. But after 100 kilometers in the north, you can't find the army. There was a man in Katsina who said there are only 5 guns in the local government in Katsina state. And most importantly, legitimate leadership is important. When you don't vote for people and they lord themselves over you, you don't respect them. The president never told you he will be in the country because he never campaigned to be president of Nigeria. It was INEC that imposed him on you. We told you when he was coming to office that the man is sick. Nobody listened to us. They even sang a song, Baba is sick and he's falling apart. Nobody listened to us. We told you that he's coming to govern Nigeria with his family. You didn't listen to us. Now that he's in power, we are calling him president. And now that he doesn't govern from Abuja, he's governing on WhatsApp. You are worried about it. Start listening to what we tell you so that when the problem comes, you not keep asking us the same question over and over again. And I have told you before that the people who claim to be governing Nigeria now never fought for democracy. I was the one who told you that TINUBU was selling drugs. In Chicago in 1993, when we were fighting for democracy with Abiola here in Nigeria.
Since APC took over power in 2015, till today, Nigeria is nothing to write home about. What could you imagine or could you think of in Nigeria that this man or Buhari or TINUBU took over power? This thing that was so bad become good. Please, if there are anyone, please comment it in the comment section.
I watched a video last week and tears welled up in my eyes. A teacher at one of our states, maybe Edo State or somewhere, decided to record on video. The block of classrooms was broken down. He said, we kept moving and moving and moving. Now the last space that was left for these kids to go in, the wall has also broken it. So there's nowhere for these kids to sit. At some point he said, maybe it is begging that they need. Children, kneel down. Let us beg them. Tears welled up in my eyes. What did these children do to us to deserve this? Hello? Listen, the education is more than what the teacher is teaching. The school environment is part of the education. You program mediocrity into the subconscious of a child. What are you expecting in 30 years' time? Why is it that a good chunk of people who can do something about it right now are not doing something? Because they were raised in harsh environments like that. The whole thing is going in a cycle. Who's going to break it? Anywhere a country has a vision, it has to create or produce the people that will build the vision.
But everything that is happening in Nigeria have triggered the hearts of some politicians that they are not voicing out. Some are tired. Some are even planning oh, we are waiting for Tinubu in 2027. When Tinubu look at them like rain or mockery, he give him power. Rain or mockery is not saying, oh, Peter Obi is the problem of Nigeria. If there are no roads, it's Peter Obi is the problem. Peter Obi is the problem, that's why there are no good roads. Peter Obi is not a governor, he's not a president, he's not even a minister, he's nobody. And APC now, through rain or mockery, they are not blaming him. Now, thank God that some men of God still took their stand right from before, and now, maybe thereafter, they are still saying that they regret and they never wanted President Bola Ahmed Tinubu like Odumeje. I want you guys to watch this video.
Is personal, and that is the reason why the lion himself exists. The government of Nigeria, that TINUBU is in charge right now, be very careful, because the anger of God is too much. And your latest president is not selected by God. It was on polls himself to become that president. That is why he have nothing to offer, and he can never do anything for Nigeria. We are not for ourselves, and we speak when God is angry, and he will put us to speak the voice of heaven. If your pastor is not talking about the wickedness of the government of Nigeria right now, go out of that church. Why? Because every soul in the Nigerians is feeling the hunger and is feeling the high cost of everything in Nigeria, and one set of a family and enjoying the economy that belongs to everybody and gallivanting around of the whole world, and look at Nigeria as all of us is a fool. I want to speak to your pastors in every churches and to start to raise voice. And everyone that has a social media must speak against the bad government of Nigeria and the wickedness of the government of Nigeria, that your president did not even care. As far as I'm concerned, your president TINUBU did not care about the pains you are going through. But let me shock you, God is not quiet, and we can never live in such kind bad government and the wickedness of a human being that cannot live here forever. And watch and see the angers of God. Enough is enough.
You might laugh because of his English, but what he's saying in this video are accurate. I really don't know why, personally, that Tinubu really don't care about Nigeria. All he's doing is just his own selfish benefits. I also want you guys to watch the videos of Dunamis, Paul Eneshi, what he also said about this APC government and the insecurity in Nigeria.
But for the preaching, I already announced, and so I'm going to preach. But I don't feel celebration when blood is flowing like water in the land. Blood flowing like water in Plateau State, Benue State, and Enugu State. Say I'm not in a celebration mood. We already announced this thing otherwise, but I'm happy that we preached the message. But I said, I'll just wear anything. I was meant to wear traditional, like I said. You have your farmland. Some people come to uproot cassava, agents of the devil from the pits of hell, to feed their animal. You said, why? They waste your blood on your father's land, the land of your inheritance. What evil did we do in this country that we have not had the solution to this matter? At times when you go out from nation to nation preaching, If not that we go with the mentality of, I am sowing the seed for deliverance for our own nation. You feel some shame. Like you have what to come and offer to our nation. What about your country? The devils come to steal, to kill, and these are human devils. Kill children in their sleep.
In their sleep. In their sleep.
If security apparatuses are helpless, what is the root cause? What is the role of a nation's leadership as far as securing lives and properties are concerned? Where are we? What are we actually? Where are we? A man who was talking to me the other day, he was a former DSS official. He wanted to go to his village. He said he was afraid to go because of how the road to his place is now. And that he started this car, it didn't work. He started another car, it didn't work. So he said, let him not go. Only for him to hear of calamity on that road that he would have passed. When will we have people in Senate, in House of Representatives, in Executive, in everywhere? When will we have people there that will have heart for people? When? That will sit up and make legislation that will eliminate the wastage of blood in this land. When? Why is blood flowing like water and nobody is saying anything? Where are those who have a stake in the destiny of this nation? Where are they? I told you my wife came to me, are you okay? Are you all right? I said, I'm good. It's just these killings. And he saw me on the phone talking to a village pastor in one of the villages that was ravaged, giving me the account of casualties, including casualties from his own.
Of God are voicing out, except one person. Only one person is the pastor, the GO, the General Overseer of ROCCG, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Papa Adeboye. Papa Adeboye took stand with the Yoruba president, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, from beginning. Even till now, he's still saying he's the best president. He's still saying they have never found one error. But when Goodluck was president, this man, he was in front line with Woloshenka, carrying plate cards, carrying coffee, calling him to resign. Goodluck, you're a bad person. Goodluck is dead, out of that office. But since APC took over power, they only took a city walk to pray for Nigeria, going to presidential villa to go and say hi to president, to give him idea. Nigeria, I think Nigeria is lacking in this area. Can you just tighten this economy a little?
Yesterday, just as I expected, I came across one of Nigeria's biggest church leaders declaring 100 days of fasting for Nigeria. He said the country will soon experience peace after the church's 100-day fast is over. Now, it will be completely delusional to think that these people do not know that these prayers and fasting absolutely do nothing to improve Nigeria's trajectory. Yet every new year, we start with these prayers for a better Nigeria. So I'm asking this morning, what more do you want God to do for Nigeria? Because if nations across the world were to argue as to who is God's favorite child, Nigeria will undoubtedly be seen as one of God's favorite children. God gave Nigeria everything, way more natural and human resources than most countries on earth. Arable land, no natural disasters, fantastic weather for agriculture, some of the most brilliant minds on earth, a people with the skills to thrive in any part of the world that we have found. God didn't fail Nigeria one bit. Nigerians failed Nigeria. God gave this nation fertile soil, rivers that flow like veins through the heart of the nation. Nigeria is not lacking in blessings that we need to pray for. It is instead drowning in gross mismanagement. So again, what more do you want God to do for Nigeria as you fast for 100 days? What more is God meant to do for our country? To choose your leaders for you? To help you jail your corrupt politicians? To help you properly utilize all the vast resources that he has already blessed us with? There's almost no nation on the continent that should have been at par with Nigeria in development and quality of life for its citizens. If you think about just the wealth we should have from oil alone, take a look at what other countries have done with their own oil wealth. Think of what the Niger Delta alone could look like if we managed our resources better. So stop praying to God to bless Nigeria. He's already blessed us beyond what we could ever imagine. And again, when you are calling on God to save Nigeria, what exactly do you want him to do? God is not going to run your elections for you. He's not going to run your justice system for you. He will not create a better constitution for Nigeria. All of those things were left for you to handle as Nigerians, the best that you could. But instead, we've allowed the worst to rule over us. We've placed tribe and religion over prosperity as a nation. We've allowed the destruction of our institutions by our fellow citizens. God didn't abandon Nigeria. Nigerians instead have laid our bed this way, and so we must lay on it. Your National Assembly members are singing on your mandate, we shall stand. One state governor cannot read his own budget figures. One state governor paid his children's school fees till graduation and is currently being welcomed home like a hero. Where do you want God to step in here? If your governor can't read his own budget figures, what do you want God to do in a situation like that? Again, we have laid our bed. Let us lie on it. Good morning, Nigerians.
Anyway, I will rest my case here because there are some people that will still see it in a different angle. Don't talk to my daddy, don't talk to Papa like that. Nigeria, if it is good, it's good for everybody. If it is bad, it's going to be bad for everybody. How many of you also remember Mr. Olakbasa? Mr. Olakbasa was in front line saying TINUBU must become president. They want TINUBU to become president. Oh, TINUBU, nothing will stop TINUBU from becoming president. Oh, Peter Obi should go and sleep. Obedience is the problem of Nigeria. Oh, forget about Peter Obi. How would they say Labour Party that have no structure to come and rule Nigeria? They campaigned and campaigned and campaigned. To the extent they were even calling Rufai Oseni a bad person from Arise TV. A video like this. I want you guys to watch it.
Mr. Olakbasa, since President TINUBU came in, the economy has tanked. It's at an all-time low as we speak.
It has not. It has not.
Let me finish my question, Mr. Olakbasa. Let me finish my question.
You are a liar,
Mr. Olakbasa. Moderate yourself. All right, moderate yourself.
Do you know what you are doing?
Good.
Listen to me. You're
Secondly,
do you know what you are doing?
Since President TINUBU came in, the economy has tanked.
You are pretending to be a journalist.
That's one.
Is that TINUBU's fault?
Secondly,
don't you know why Naira tanked?
I'm still asking my question. Secondly,
Naira
it's been an
because of your friends.
What happened after TINUBU took over power? When TINUBU took over power, this same man that was saying Rufai is a problem. Why would you say that? You are very arrogant. Is TINUBU your problem? But I want you guys to listen to what he's saying right now.
I mean, I don't understand this Bola TINUBU of a man. He will just, I don't know what his game plan is. He's just, but he's wasting his time because we are the ones that put him in power. We know how our calculations, how we put him in power, and we are going to get him out of that power. That's for sure. He's wasting his time. Now, whatever he thinks he's doing, he forgets that just because of the hunger in the land, it is very easy to campaign against. Very easy to campaign against. And those of us who campaigned for him, a lot of us, we campaign against him. And we will get him out of that power. He is a one-term
president, I assure you, Ruben Abati. Bola Tinubu is a one-term president. Thank you.
Well, it's Nigerians that will determine that. It's not angry people like yourself taking a decision on that. But let me ask you, what do you think of coalition politics?
Yes, but even at that, Ruben, a majority of Nigerians did not vote for him. We did the calculation. All we needed to do was to wait for Atiku and Peter Obi to split their votes. That's how we won. Since 1999, Bola Tinubu has had the lowest margin of votes.
God have mercy upon us.
Of all presidents. He had less than 40% of votes. We calculated it. We worked at campaign council. Go and check the records. So there's nothing I don't know about how Bola Tinubu won. Let's see how we win in 2027.
Yeah, but Tinubu got 62%. He got 62% of the votes from northern Nigeria. Let's leave statistics.
He's saying this because Tinubu snubbed him. Because he was campaigning for Tinubu because he needed a position, political favor, political position. Tinubu snubbed him. How many of you also remember the former Kaduna State Governor El-Rufai said it will be better for an infidel Muslim to become a president of Nigeria than Peter Obi, who is a Christian, and Hedi to become president. That was exact word that is used to campaign for Tinubu. That Tinubu, even if he's sick on a dying bed, it is more better for a dead man to be a president than they should vote for Peter Obi, who is a Christian. What happened after Tinubu took over power? Tinubu sidelined him and dumped him. What happened? He decamped and started complaining. Tinubu is a bad person. Tinubu can never win this coming election, 2027 election. He started ratting all over social media. Do you know, in everything that is happening in your country right now, the only thing that comes to Tinubu's head, the man that said there will be constant electricity took 10 billion. Just Aso Rock. Aso Rock is not a community. It's a building or estate. Somebody took 10 billion to install solar.
What we have seen since the beginning of the year is a descent into tyranny and a brazen abuse of power. Those entrusted with power appear determined to destabilize what is left of our political institutions and have committed themselves to obliterating the guardrails of constitutional governance. From the theater of the absurd, stage in Rivers State, with puppets on strings controlled by directors in Abuja, to the dance of shame performed by the National Assembly in their rush to suspend the Constitution and endorse through the back door the usurpation of powers by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, from the Senate shameless bid for demanding that the President of the Nigerian Senate should uphold the moral standard required of that office, to the uncouth outburst of an undistinguished senatorial misfit who tried in vain to silence the distinguished citizens attempting to testify on behalf of Senator Akpoti Uduaghan. It is clear that our so-called leaders are determined to turn Nigeria into a mafia state. At the center of this political banditry is the Motor Park brand of politics, nurtured by the old brigade politicians, and in recent times by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mr. President, it is through your influence that the Nigerian National Assembly has become a haven for legislative rascality. Mr. President, it's under your watch that the National Assembly has become an extension of the executive, grossly violating the principles of separation of powers and rubber stamping the whims and caprices of your office, all while singing the international anthem of psychoviolence on your mandate, which shall stand. Mr. President, thanks to your political machinations, Nigeria is now bedeviled by a captured National Assembly, the most ineffective in its checks and balances role since the start of the Fourth Republic. In 2006, the Fourth National Assembly had the audacity to reject the tenure extension bid of a sitting president. In 2010, the 6th National Assembly summoned the courage to stand against the power hijacking cabal and restore Nigeria to the path of constitutionality by invoking the doctrine of necessity. In 2011, the House of Representatives of the 7th National Assembly had the courage to elect its leaders, as did the Senate of the 8th National Assembly in 2015, defying executive interference. This National Assembly, the 10th, has by its unconstitutional endorsement of the president's abuse of powers proven to be the most spineless in our recent history. Through its actions and inactions, the National Assembly has in effect become the 48th member of the president's cabinet. While a cabinet minister by the name of Wike, is it Wike or Wike or Wakeep? While a cabinet minister has more or less become a third-time state governor in Rivers State, pampered by the indulgences of the president. Recent events have made it clear to Nigerians that at this assembly being placed in 2006, when the third-term agenda was proposed, our democracy would have since morphed into one of Africa's lamentable tales of sit-tight dictatorship. To the president of the Nigerian Senate, who has not heeded the call to subject himself to an unbiased investigation, to clear his name of the allegations leveled against him, and under whose leadership the National Assembly has become a carry-go legislature, hiding under the umbrella of technicalities and a dubious voice voting system, I leave you and your conscience with the words of Frederic Bessières, former deputy of the French National Assembly. He said, and I quote, "When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in a society, over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it." To the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, under whose brand of politics the institution of legislative oversight is collapsing and our democracy is faced with an existential threat, I say, Mr. President, Nigeria is too delicate for this kind of politics. If this state capture was what you meant by a Milokan, it is an anticlimax that can only be counterproductive at the end. I urge you, Mr. President, to think deeply and reflect on these words. No man is wise enough, nor good enough to be trusted with unlimited power. Mr. President, please stop playing God.
Sometimes I don't know, the thing they pay me, but there's nothing I can do. Somebody called him a terrible president. He's angry that they called him his title. I don't know why. Why is that thing common in Nigeria? If your name is, for example, your name is Benga, and a child call you Benga, you are angry. Why will you call me by my name? Don't call me my name. Call me brother Benga. Now, if you want to call TINUBU name, like if you want to say TINUBU is terrible, no, don't say it. It will anger TINUBU and the security agency. You will say Mr. Terrible. Yes, you had a title to it. Or President Terrible. TINUBU is terrible. No, TINUBU is Mr. Terrible. Unfortunately, is misfortuned. He has no sympathy for the common Nigerian. Anyway, I rest my case here. I'm waiting for you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Until we meet again. Peace out.
Today, one egg is 250 to 300 naira. Just one egg. In 2014, Nigeria had a GDP of about $574 billion. And today, it is estimated to be slightly above $200 billion. And this is just, 9 years. Now, what they tell you is that all of this is either because the economy was already in shambles or that the previous administration was just grossly incompetent. But I will argue that what Nigeria has been dealt with in the last decade should not just be described as incompetence and just washed away as, oh well, just incompetent governance, but a crime against the Nigerian people. This level of mismanagement is not far from criminal. The fact that certain people just rode into power and completely destroyed our economy, and today these same people are at home enjoying peace and quiet. It is painful. And again, it should be seen as borderline criminal against the Nigerian people. And all of this for what? What was the crime that Nigerians committed? Simply voting in a government into office. That's the crime. And today, economic analysts will tell you that inflation is definitely not 34%, as we are told, but maybe as high as 200, even 300% or more. Nigerians don't feel safer. Healthcare is not better. Our institutions are almost completely destroyed. Our judges are frolicking freely with politicians. Electoral integrity is at its lowest. There's practically no aspect of Nigeria that we can say has significantly improved. And again, what is the crime that Nigerians committed as a people to deserve this level of depletion in our institutions and in our economy in just 9 years? These people practically ruined your country. And again, I don't think that it should be seen as just a couple of years of incompetence. Well, forget about it. To completely destroy the lives and living conditions of a people like this should be seen as a crime against the Nigerian people.